I was sitting in a lecture one day. Well, it wasn't a lecture, it was a poetry reading, and I was incredibly bored. And there was someone down the road who was quite attractive. And as happens, your mind just starts to wander, and you start to create these worlds and these fantasies. And what would happen if two people were thinking at the same time about each other, and their imaginations collided so that they were creating the same world. So yeah, it just came out of sitting in a really boring situation and having it happen to me. And I went and wrote it down. And like I said, it went through several incarnations. I even became a radio play for a while. Took that out, screenplay, rewrote it back. Took out certain scenes to change with the times because it was written before the recession. So yeah, this has been a 7-year project, and it's really good to know that it's finally going to be put on the stage.
10 times as loud. Break that back wall. Fee. Fee. Fee 5.
Fee 5.
Fee 5 vista.
Fee 5 vista.
Accumula, cumula, cumula vista.
Accumula, cumula, cumula vista.
Whoa, ho, 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 la vista.
Whoa, ho, ho, la vista.
Skitchi, itchi, alamini, uwala, walamini.
Skitchi, itchi, alamini, uwala, walamini.
Scat, diddly doo-a, a doo-a, a diddly-a.
Scat, diddly doo-a, a doo-a, a diddly-a.
This time a stage whisper. Fee.
Fee.
Fee 5.
Fee 5.
Fee 5 vista.
Fee 5 vista.
It was one of those scripts that was kind of a eureka moment that it just kind of coalesced instantly in my head. Unlike my usual efforts where I have to struggle with the concepts and the plots and the storyline. This one just seemed to have just formed itself almost like a time machine just coming out of nowhere. So I just grabbed that opportunity and wrote it down basically. The concept behind the script was the idea of addressing the notion of time being non-linear as opposed to the way we typically see our lives, our days, where they start in the morning and they finish in the evening, and just looking at the whole broad spectrum of cause and effect as well, and how by going back in time the slightest little thing could have huge consequences on our future.
If you just read over your stage directions and get more familiar with it, so you know what to expect, so you're not needing to rely on your script too much.
I think it's really interesting because it's the whole voiceover thing is usually more apt to film, and it's not something you would usually do on the stage. But I think it works well because what's fun is to see the actors not just react with each other, but with voices. So I know the old phrase of acting is reacting, but it gives the actors 2 dimensions to react to, and I think it's really, really looking good and coming off better than I even expected. But the critics hate it because they're crying.
I was actually very eager to see another person's interpretation of something that has been inside my head for now over a decade, and it was a very interesting experience. It was very well handled, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it being performed on the night.